I just want to start from the outset to say that any decision we make today may change tomorrow. In order to have the best expert advice, we have commissioned
Supercoach 360.
If the time's going up, it's recording.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the show.
Oh, mate, 100%.
We need to find out why they think it's okay to say anything.
It's certainly one of the greatest challenges in the history of the game.
That's what they want to try and do.
Megastar to megastar!
In this regard, we're leaving every option on the table.
Oh, what was that, buddy?
Something special!
You know,
That's not talent.
oh,
Supercoach 360.
The best way to handle these things is to stay measured, stay calm, live your life as normal.
Unless we start finding it off the people who actually just do it, it makes their little ordinary life feel a little bit better for that moment.
Makes it cool. Supercoach 360 podcast.
so he'll be a good little hooker cheapie. If you want to go anti-pod the Randall, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Or go to.
yeah, or you could easily go the two. Like
I'll
it's
give you
worked-
Nath money if he starts the season, or Tommy money if you want it.
Well, it's worked before, the two cheapies. In the past, I think Arpy was around 300,000 a few years back, and someone else was,
Brayley.
yeah, cheap as well. And if you got on both, you were cheering. Both scored mad points and came through with the goods, and you could upgrade anywhere you wanted within a couple of weeks. So it's a matter of snagging them good ones. And if he gets 60 minutes at lock, man, that's a pretty good spot to have. I don't mind you. I put young Maney.
Where are you hearing these rumours? Where are they coming from?
Facebook. They're all full of shit. Like, you don't know. Like, someone's seen him at training, right? But there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's got to train there in case Carrigan goes down as well. You know? Like, there's probably 3 blokes training, 4 blokes training at lock if we be real. But someone's obviously seen him doing it at training, and which is a good sign because, you know, like, there are injuries in the game, and at any stage he could come in and take the role. He played well there when he given the opportunity last year, I think. Anyway, and then I ended up looking at Jai Arrow. He's still a dual, which sort of in his favour, and you'd have to think now with some changes at South's new coach, maybe he's looking at getting maybe a starter. I can't pencil him in that he will or he won't. Like, he's let everyone down before, but he also does go on that run, the tearaway, and if he was to quickly get up there, he's easily good to go to someone better. You know what I mean? Like an Angus Crichton or a Dave Fafita if you can get money elsewhere as well, because I can't see him regressing money-wise. And then, me back. So I ended up getting rid of Toto, especially if Nath's gone for the 4 rounds. And I got Ewan Aiken and Tessie New.
And Tessie New.
Yeah, Tessie New, I think he was guy sneaky.
Yeah.
Last year.
At the back end of it.
He come home strong. He come home with a wet sail. And with A-Ray, he's just a good little sneaky. And I think they play the first bye, Brisbane. Do they?
I don't think so.
Oh, they don't. Okay, so that's one of the things that's gone against him now. But in saying that, I've got absolutely no depth on my bench. Like, I've got the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a bit disheartening. Got a good 11.
Yeah, so sacrifices are going to have to be made.
Yeah, so at this point, and also, Juzzy, have you fixed it? Okay, we going back on. I'm just rambling shit here.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
Well,
what'd you say? I thought you were going to run through your list of what was actually on the show tonight. Not.
Thank you, Con, because that's it. We've sat down for an hour and a half beforehand. You've written down everything we're talking about. You know exactly what's going to be going on. You wrote half of it. You got 2 columns of your own. You know exactly who we're shouting out. And you know what? You just went, yeah, Will.
We asked about
his team. Talk about me
How
team.
come you asked about his team, not my team? You've singled him out.
I was buffering for time, just chatting, saying g'day.
Now I've talked about my team.
Well, let's just shuffle on, shall we?
Yeah, I think so.
G'day, everybody. Welcome to the show. We've got the tech difficulties of Facebook sorted. Sorry about that to everybody who is listening, watching, enjoying. Jump in the comments, say g'day. We do go live on Facebook every Tuesday, 7:30ish. I think we kicked off around 8 o'clock tonight. It was about 8:15.
That's pretty good.
So
pretty close.
Yeah, that's it. We're in the running, boys. Thank you very much for listening and for joining us. We do have a big week of things to talk about, all which Bergs knows. We're going to talk about return from the dead, 5 players that we're expecting to have a bit of a better Supercoach season based on injury or, something which has affected their season last year, which has resulted in being priced underneath what we know they're capable of. We're going to talk hookers with Bergs. We're going to talk poison mids and just a few mid-ranges out there that might look like juicy additions to your team, but we've got a couple of guys in the know who reckon they're a no-go. We're going to talk goal kickers, as we all know, extra base points, especially in ceiling clubs where they can be kicking a lot of goals. And we're going to talk Nath or Nah. What do you do if you can't get the number 1 halfback? Plus, we've got a few awesome questions from you guys, which we're going to get to as well. So before we dive into that, though, we just want to mention the cash comps. We know a few of you guys out there, guys and girls, out there like to do their cash leagues every year. Head over to Broderick at NRL SC Tragics Cashies on Facebook. He'll sort you out. He's a good guy, pays on time every time. You'll be right. If you want to join a free overall group, make sure you jump in ours, 790-873, 790-873. Massive shout outs to the people at the Podmasters Cup. They do fantastic work, and it's a bunch of all the big content creators all in one massive league, and they've just taken it next level this year. They've got seeded leagues all over the place. It's absolutely mad, so make sure you find them on Facebook and you follow them along as well. This is going to be one hell of a league. I think we're in 3 different leagues in that competition this year. So this is going to be really next level. Speaking of next level competitions, massive shout out to Rick Rowdy over at the Fig Jam Dynasty Sports podcast. He's got all your NRL Supercoach draft needs covered. And of course, if you're in Melbourne, if you see him around the footy fields, make sure you grab a cup of Harrington's Coffee Love. It's the best coffee going around. We want to also shout out the Discord, Bergs, Supercoach Hub, I believe, on the Discord. If you are that way inclined, you reckon it is a go-to resource full of some of the most knowledgeable minds in the game?
Yeah, well, I'm part of their seeded thing, and I'm seeded in the 4.
Oh, of course you would be. I mean,
you know what I mean.
you're not bad,
and you
but-
look at the podcast one, I'm seeded in the 2nd seed. So
You're in with me.
Yeah, that's against podcasters like Sangster and Costa and all the boys
from what I understand, it's
Yeah, the
definitely
experience are in there.
it's for the serious Supercoach. They get really deep into it, and it's definitely
But
for
that
the
just
serious inclined Supercoach.
shows you the gap difference between like just the podcast dudes, and then you got the dudes who actually are doing the Discord and the full crunch and the stuff on the internet. I don't know how to use. Sorry, guys, I don't know how to use it properly, but I do try.
I mean, that's one thing you've definitely shown me over the summer. You've introduced me to a few Supercoach minds that are, helping us to put together some content for Supercoach 360. And yeah, I can definitely attest to. There's some people out there that know and understand this game on other levels, which I'm wrapping my head around. But at this point, I just can't comprehend. Like, yeah, it's really next level how they can think about this game and how they play this game. Some serious players out there. And if you're one of them, make sure you head to the Discord, Supercoach Hub. Otherwise, NRL Supercoach Stats.com, massive shout out to them. They put out an awesome resource if you are doing some investigating and analysing players. So make sure you check them out. It's NRLSCStats.com. And finally, a massive shout out to our friends at Supercoach Championship Rings on Facebook, www.supercoachchampion.com. This year, they have given us our very own ring to give away. We are just waiting to receive it in the post. But they do send them out very, very quickly. If you throw them in with mates, $5 each, you can get one for your 20-man head-to-head league. They're grouse little ring. Great to go to the winner for, not only bragging rights, but a bit of a memento of that season, especially for, when you've got some of those long-term leagues with mates. It's really nothing when you're all chucking in, $100 for the Cashies anyway. So make sure you get along to www.supercoachchampion.com or find them on Facebook, Supercoach Championship Rings. If you want to win one, because you're a tight ass like us, then we've got one to give away. All you have to do is just try to get yourself a shout out, NRL related, from whoever you can. Don't be afraid. Don't worry about COVID. Just go talk to people. It's fine. If you can get someone to shout out Supercoach 360, you will get yourself in the running. We've had a few people manage to get the GOAT, managed to get Joey. So we've managed to get. Let's see who you can get. We've managed to get a bunch of people. So, yeah, let's...
Well, you got Sauce.
Well, I did. I managed to get Sauce at a trials game, funnily enough, with all the trials right around the corner. Speaking of, the trials are next week, and we are looking forward to seeing them. But footy does start this weekend. Have any of you guys taken a look at the All-Stars and Maori side? The Indigenous All-Stars and the Maori sides.
I know this is Charles Brothers playing.
I did hear that. I heard that on the radio today, and I've seen the articles about him coming up.
Big unit.
Yeah, well, that's it. I understand he's going to be playing in the back row, or is he playing front row?
Oh, you're looking front rowish to me, but that was pictures he might have trimmed down since them pictures. I'm not sure, but he big boy.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be front row to me, but I reckon he's got some skills. Massive skills on him, so...
It'd be interesting to get a look at him, because if he is going to get a run at South, potential cheapie later in the year.
Ooh, if you remember a couple of years back, all front rows were throwing good cutout balls and shit, eh? Like, there was at least one in your side doing it. Like, we had James Graham doing it at the Dogs.
All right. Anyone else in the All-Stars game that you want to talk about, buddy? Since how James Graham retired 3 years ago.
I'm just saying, like, for a big man, it's
I
beneficial.
understand what you're saying, but we're trying to talk Supercoach here.
Well, we're not talking Supercoach because there's no Supercoach relevance.
Oh, come on, mate. It's a Supercoach podcast. We're going to talk about... Okay, well, let's move straight on to the one talking point I know you guys do have a little bit to talk about. Hookers. So, I mean, everyone's got the burning question. You really want to gun at hooker. The ceiling is so high, and I mean, just the base output of a good hooker is so high that you're going to be getting points in that position, so you should be trying to achieve points in that position. Who are you looking at, and who are you not looking at? I've heard. Actually, yeah, go.
Go on.
No,
No, what have you heard?
Well, look, you can look at Harry Grant. They've only got 1 week, haven't they? Harry Grant and Brendan Smith.
I think so.
You
I
could
know. I know
easily-
Smith does.
You could easily sit that for. You could easily sit that. You know what I mean, for a week. But I don't see. I don't see the point in doing that personally. For me, I'm looking at Cookie or Reid Marnie as my starting number 9 over Grant or Smith. I think Cookie with no 7, no recognised 7. I think you have to take a bit of onus at Souths, and hopefully the 7's a quick little 7, and he'll back up when Cookie runs through and he's have Cam Murray or the 7 either side. You know what I mean? That's something he didn't get from Adam Reynolds very much, especially if you were 60 metres out. You were not getting it at all. Like, he was never going to be there for that. Whereas a young bloke, there's a chance. There's a chance for more points for Cookie there. And Reid Marnie, got a point to prove, but there's also the chance that BA might look to the future and start blooding someone else and take his minutes away.
Reid Marnie, he's only 23 or 24 years
Yeah,
old.
but he's going the Dogs.
Yeah, true.
You know, so
Yeah, fair call.
they might look to the future, and it might not happen week 1 or 2 or something, but it could be on the cards in the future. But I do like the draw for Para, which make me think, well, either Cookie or Marnie's probably the go-to for me to start. I have Cookie in my team at the moment.
I think for the extra 70k, you got to go Harry Grant. If you're saving 150, 200k, yeah, I'd understand it if he was that much dearer, but I think for the extra 70k, you got to go Harry.
Why though?
Because I think he'll play more minutes this year. And he had an injury-affected year last year. In games he played over 55 minutes. He averaged just under 80.
So you're willing to go in week 1 with no Harry Grant, like Harry Grant?
Yeah, and
sitting on
have
your
Randall.
bench?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if Randall gets some
If he
spot,
gets a starting spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm happy to do that. And if I was going to downgrade, I'd probably downgrade to McInnes at 535,000. And
Would you really though? Like, his role's not solidified. He does. You can't even tell me where he's playing.
I think he'll play 13. And I think he'll play at least 65, 70 minutes on the field. And
Not worried about coming back from an ACL.
no, not really.
No.
And considering Cook and Marnie only average 65 to 68, I think McInnes can just about match that for $40,000, $50,000 you're going to save.
I think Cookie had an off year. I think he's probably got maybe 10 points a game more in him this year.
How come?
Because hasn't got an Adam Reynolds to give it to. He's got to take a bit more of the leadership role, so he'd probably have to make a few more decisions. You know,
I
what
mean, isn't Cam Murray the captain over there?
Yeah, he is.
And he gets the fast play the balls off Cam Murray. I mean, that's how they sort of build their game. So there is a good chance that he could be getting a bit more of that this year. And if Cookie, to his detriment last year, was like he suffered hard because of the way the people, the other teams were playing inside the 40. By giving away the 6 again, they quickly were able to diffuse people like Cookie, who could get off the back of tied forwards and the fast play the ball and try and break out. Because if Cookie gets beyond the line, he could be gone. He could be the entire field down, especially if it's first tackle. So this year, with it being the penalty, I mean, are they still going to be able to use him to just go straight up attack if that's what's going to happen to him? Or are they going to lay off and he's going to eventually be able to get through those gaps early in the tackle count and then just be able to run with whoever he supports, at least get the line break, the try assist, 30 each. Who's going to be running with him? Is his young half going to be running with him?
That's what I hope.
Well, Cody Walker's his backup man.
Yeah, that's it. Will Cody Walker be getting through the line and getting with him? And
you have Trell, you got AJ. There's a lot of speed.
There is.
In the pack. You don't know how the new coach is going to...
That is a big factor. They don't have the Wayne anymore.
How the new coach is going to use him either. That's another thing. Could have a whole new game in his head.
All right.
I don't like Cookie.
Just quickly on Grant, all right? I've got a question here,
Okay.
From Freddie Corbett, right? What are your thoughts with Munster and Grant both starting on the pine? You lose points round 1, but you save the trades. How much the trade's worth to you? Are they worth around 1 point?
Yeah, if you're going to keep them all year.
Yeah?
Yeah, or if you're just going to get them in as soon as possible, you might as well start with them.
Yeah,
Take the hit.
Yeah, exactly. So, how many rounds are you willing to take on a gun? Like, are you not going to start with Nath to save a trade?
No.
I can't wait.
Oh, so you're
a
contemplating
lot of
it.
money. Yeah, if it's 2 weeks, I'm probably going to start with Nath.
Really?
But if it's a month, it might be a bit of a different story.
Because you're right, it's $1 million, and you've got to find $1 million right there and then, don't you?
Yeah.
To be able to get him in. Because
it.
if he comes in all cylinders blazing, then you're in trouble.
Well, he played half of the year last year, or the last 6 or 7 games, whatever it was.
With that, including the grand final, he played the toughest games of the year with that.
I think he'll be right, and he's going to come back better.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. That's yeah.
But
How other hookers you got?
But okay, what happens if he's scheduled to come back in 2 and he gets infection?
Comes back in 4.
Well, it's definitely a risk and a gamble, but
Might be one you're willing to take. The Nath factor in that position, he's just worth so much
otherwise,
more.
you're pretty much going to have to sacrifice a gun for hopefully there's cheapie coming through for you to make money off to find the cash to go from a Cherry Evans or a Jerome Hughes to Cleary, or you're going to take 6-7 weeks to slowly build that funds up at the start of the year to eventually get him. And you could be 80, 90, 100 points behind plus by then.
The only other option is you literally sit the extra 300 or 400K on your bench.
Yeah.
And you're right, that's an upgrade. So it's to save a trade, what's that worth to you? Because then that money's not working for you. I mean, you're not losing it though.
Yeah, well, but you do have an actual
because you're not making
second tier
points out
gun
of it.
there playing for you, and then you bring Nath in on top of that, so you're not losing as many points really doing it that way.
All right. So on top of your hookers, man, who you got?
Well, only pretty much the ones that you got to back up one of those 4. You know what I mean? B. Smith's still not a bad option. But I think Harry Grant this year will easily outscore him.
But is B. Smith better utilised in the back row?
I think he'll be 13 predominantly this year. He might still start at 9 and move to 13, but
I just don't know. I don't know his role either, so that's why I'm steering clear of B. Smith. I wouldn't begrudge anyone for going there. He scored well last year, and he's like a little.
He's a gun hooker. Like, he is moving to the Roosters next year, but if Bellamy can use him to win a comp, but the thing is, if Bellamy can use anyone else to win a comp, then does he have that in him?
Now, I've also got Watto.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Connor Watson?
Yeah, just because I've heard Verrills is injured.
So you think he'll take the starting number 9 at the Roosters?
Could do. I don't know how long he'll have it for, though. He's probably the best 14 in the game.
well, Marshke did all right for him last year when he played.
Oh, I don't think he's a Watto, though.
I mean, remember Orbo, though, in his retirement year, he ended up becoming, actually a smoky for that year because he just ended up posting some really solid scores. So does the Roosters 14 have that in them? You notice when the Roosters bring on someone like that, they come on with a set play ready to go.
Yeah, but there's also them games where the Roosters have just flown through for 70 minutes with no need for him, and then he puts him on for 2 minutes.
Yeah, fair call.
And at 511K.
Yeah, well, you can't afford
that.
to lose
That won't be happening with Watto, but Watto's a different mould to Orbo.
But yeah, Watto out of the next, he'd be a look at bench hooker as long as Verrills is out for 3 to 5 weeks for me.
What's he worth?
5'11".
5'11".
He's very dear.
Who you got?
Well, I'll see that one. I'll raise your dark horse.
Yeah.
Jeremy Marshall-King.
I like Marshall-King.
If the Dogs forward pack can get a roll on like I think they might be able to, I think Jeremy Marshall-King can run amok on the back of that. I think could be a smoky pod to start the year.
What's his price?
427,000.
So that's a good 90K nearly.
Yeah.
On Watto, that's a good saving and a good backup hooker who's probably going to chug along nicely with, I don't think, anyone nipping at his heels. Then you got Randall, your boy Randall.
Yep.
From Newcastle. He's more likely to start than the other one I've got. That's the only reason I've gone Randall first. With the drama up there, do you have anyone else other than Randall?
I think from what I've read, it's between Kurtman and Randall.
Is Kurtman suited to the 9?
Kurtman's suited to another team, in my opinion, but I don't get a say in it.
I know. I just love Kurtman, but For me, Randall was impressive last year, and I'm worried. He's like a worry for me, because if he doesn't go well, 3 or 4 games in, gets hooked, then you're stuck with nothing on the bench. And probably no way to upgrade unless you start using bonus trades or whatever you're going to use to get him out. It's a worry having Randall. That's why I've actually, like we were talking about earlier with Kobe Hetherington, like I said, someone's seen him at training, but if he can snag a starting role for 60 minutes, even if you don't play him, you can sit him there as your bench hooker to
No,
start.
if he's getting a starting role 60 minutes in the first couple of weeks, you're playing him.
Yeah, you probably are.
Absolutely.
If he's getting a starting role in the first 60 minutes, right, like for the first couple of weeks, but he doesn't perform, does he get dropped after 2 and then he's stuck there?
That's a possibility
that's
as well.
Possibility as
the
well.
same as Randall.
It's a more expensive gamble.
So Newcastle have the backup. Who would your backup be at Brizzy? Like, who would you have to be on the lookout for?
Carrigan.
Yeah, all right.
Carrigan, but I don't know what their stocks are like in the front row. Brisbane.
Well, they got Bullymore who's in the middle as well.
He's gone somewhere.
That's next year, isn't it?
Nah, I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. All right, you got to say, is that all your hookers?
No, I got one more.
Yep.
Adam Keegan from the Roosters. If he can get a starting centre spot, I'll be really looking closely at him.
And you can play him at hooker.
Well, yeah, you can play him at hooker or centre.
Ooh, okay. That's an interesting dual position.
Yes.
That could be a little bit of a smoky at hooker.
I don't mind that. If the Roosters are full strength and he's in the centres, I can see a lot of points coming his way at $320,000.
That's juicy.
Yes.
He's at Manly right now. Ethan Bullimore.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's another one down. There's half a chance Carrigan goes in the front row.
Yeah, well, Pengai's gone. Lodge left halfway through last year, but there's a lot of middle depth gone at the Broncos. Yeah, what else you got? You got any more hookers or?
No, I don't think so. I think that's it for hookers, yeah. So you guys obviously aren't making a selection until we get team lists. So I believe you've got some return from the dead players for us, Con.
Oh. I didn't know you were going to do that now.
Oh.
Come on, Con. Get the program.
So
Bergs, talk about your team for a minute.
No.
Team's really good. It's coming on.
So the return from the dead, it's pretty much 5 players that you looked at.
4
players that you looked at that you think this year are going to have a better year because they've been injury affected last season. We've seen them perform and get to gun status before.
No, not all of them have performed at gun status, but I just think there's enough there to
get them there this year.
Take him to the next level.
So a few people to look at. Who you got for us?
I've got Tony Staggs. Obviously, we all know what Tony could do on a good day.
He's a menace, eh? He's an absolute monster.
He is.
Especially if he stays at centre and it's just his job is to just pretty much get within 20
definitely
and then
played centre.
Break the line. I mean, that's his job. It's pretty much as soon as we're in 20, get the ball, break the line, and because he's just so strong, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So he's pretty injury affected, as we know. He's only played 18 games in the last 2 years, but he's averaged 60 in those games, coming back from injury and whatnot. So I think with Adam Reynolds added to the side, I can see an uptick in Katoni's Supercoach scoring.
Yeah, that's it. A-Ray can create the opportunity for him.
Hopefully.
He does it himself, man. If you ever watch the bloke, he seems to do it himself. Give him space,
he's like a little David Fafita.
If you give him space, he does well with it. He don't waste it.
Yep.
He hits gaps. He's pretty much one-on-one, hard to tackle, eh? Like, he'll break a tackle.
His price, because he had the injury affected last year, his price $110,000 under his actual average cost. So at $433,000, I think I'm going to roll the dice with him.
Well, I personally have him in my side at the moment. Don't know if I'm going to... If I can find cheaper options, I'm going to take him.
Oh, absolutely.
But at this point, I have him in my side for same reasons. And just watching the bloke the last few years, he does, in a shit Brisbane side, done it on his own. They're starting to slowly... I won't say they're getting better, but they're building. They'll have a halfback this year that actually probably direct the team around better than the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
So
definitely. They've got an experienced actual halfback now.
That's a help to a bloke like a Tony Staggs who's been doing it on the back of his own work. So.
Oh, Who else you got?
No, I got Luke Cleary.
All right, Sydney Roosters halfback, 4'5'8", yeah.
Either or either. He'll play halfback, I'd say, this year, maybe.
Yeah, he's got the dual position.
Doesn't matter. He's going to play the same role no matter the number he wears.
No, but for Supercoach relevance, it does.
He's both. He's dual.
He is the dual position.
Yeah.
So that's proven very beneficial in the past, because if you've got an injury to then either of your halves, you've still got that gun that's operating. I mean, we know he can be injury
Well, not only
prone.
that, but you can also trade out that one for another gun, depending on
Yeah, it's either
position, depending on where you had them.
No, that's it. Having a couple of dual positions in the halves is definitely very beneficial. So, yeah, why Luke Cleary?
I don't know, to be honest with you. He's never really been a top-tier gun, ever. He had 3 games last year, or 2.5 games last year, where he averaged 75.5.
I was about to say, he looked really good in those
He
games,
did.
though.
That's what I'm leaning it towards.
Especially if he was able to have that translate into Supercoach points, then... Yeah,
Well, he did. He played 2 full games and I think 30-odd minutes in the second one and averaged 75.5. So it was off to a flyer, which might be more minutes than that. I might have that wrong.
What's he priced at?
A 75 average.
He's priced at 528,000, which is not.
That's pretty good for a half.
75
For a gun half.
average. I think he's about 100 and something thousand under what he should be at the 75-point average.
And could be a season-long.
And yeah, because I think the Roosters are my favourites this year, personally, if they can stay healthy, obviously. And like I say, a lot of points and a lot of Supercoach points coming from the Roosters.
Yeah.
What makes you think that they're going to be so much better just because they have the full complement? Or
Absolutely. You've seen what they did when Teddy was pretty much carrying him on his shoulders last year.
Yeah.
Throw Cleary, Collins and all that back into the mix, and I think they're going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah.
They are. They're a very strong club.
Well, they've just added with Watto as well. He's not just a 14. He's a 14 that can play everything but prop forward, probably.
Oi, boys.
He'd still give that a go.
Yeah, he would.
Sorry, it's taken me near 4 years, but I reckon I got a smoky for you.
Yeah.
Paul Momirovski.
I like it.
I don't.
Recruiter from the Panthers. If he pulls up that centre spot, I've heard he's going to goal kick as well.
Yeah.
And so if he's got that base from goal kicking, we know he can score a try. Good hands. If he can learn how to pass. I mean, it might have been a Panthers thing. I've noticed both centres at the Panthers on both sides. Sometimes they just hold passes. So I think it's part of their game plan, to be honest. And if he's let loose on the other side and he can get those try assists and stuff instead of just keeping the ball and keeping the possession, which is the Panthers game, then yeah, I think there could be a few points on offer there from old Momo.
I really like Momirovski on both levels as a NRL player and a Supercoach player this year, especially if he kicks goals, like you said. He's probably the one that will knock Keegan out of the left centre spot. I think Josh Morris was left centre, yeah. So I think, he's definitely one to watch.
Alrighty. So who else you got in the return from the dead there, buddy?
I got Cam McInnes. Obvious reasons, I think everyone knows. He missed all of last year, so he's at a reduced rate. I think he was $535,000.
He's also had a club change too, to a club that can score more points and have a new coach coming in from a good system.
Yeah, I don't think attacking stats are McInnes' go.
Just
He's
base.
Down and dirty,
Yeah.
get the job done. And I like him at his price. I think he's priced well below his average.
Where do you see him fitting into that Sharks lineup? Is he going to pick up an edge spot, or is he going to be a lock, or are they going to play him as a 14?
Well, I think he might play a bit of lock, and maybe young Brayley will get a bit of rest too. Maybe 15 minutes at hooker and
Maybe
40 odd at lock.
I mean, look, Melbourne proved last year if you've got 2 hookers, that fast-paced strategy can come in very beneficial, especially with the penalties being thrown in this year. If you're able to play on through that penalty and you don't have to take the kick, then if they blow the penalty, then bang, that's it. You can just have some fun with that.
Yeah, but I'll definitely be watching McInnes. He's priced 15 points below his average from 2020.
Yeah.
Which has only really been his one breakout year, but I'm willing to back him in again.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, the second season Blues got him real hard. You guys said after the breakout year, they tend to experience a bit of a dip, but yeah, not usually. What was it, torn ACL?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 12 months out, shifted to another club.
He's always been an effort man. but his efforts have got better and bigger as his career's gone on. I think he won't dip, if you know what I mean.
He's only going to gain from where he is, which at the starting point of the season, value is the name of the game. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's it. If you can generate cash to use as people to stepping stones,
And
if they're not working out.
Is he dual still?
I think so. He's dual with hooker.
I don't know. I'd say he will be.
I think I've already double checked.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So, who else is
so
on
yeah, he averaged also in 2020. He averaged just under 50 tackles per game. So Cook and Marnie for the extra, what were they?
60, 70.
Extra 40, 50 grand. Yeah. He averaged pretty much 10 less than them in just tackles. Playing a bit of lock, running the ball. There's more points. I like him.
All right.
And the last one's Pat Carrigan. We kind of touched on Paddy a little bit. Average last year wasn't great, but it was a very injury-affected season for Paddy. Very up and down. His 2020 average of 67, we'll call it,
Quiet as a horse, Con.
is 15 points better than his last year average, and I can see him getting back more towards that with Lodge and Pengai gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it. Well, he's sort of got to step up because, I mean, those guys were a couple of big units. So, Paddy Carrigan, where do you see him? You see him playing hooker or do you see him playing front row? Bergs, I think you've already answered this. It's sort of front row.
I think he'll play lock, personally.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think Lock's now more of a ball distributor role, and I don't know if Paddy Carrigan's got that ball distributor in him, whereas Everington did have a bit. So that swayed me more towards Paddy Carrigan going into the front row.
At the end of the day, there's no real difference whether one wears 10, one wears 13, and vice versa, because they're all in the middle. They can still do that ball playing role as an 8 or a 10 or a 13. It's not like the 13 has to do it, I'd say.
Can do it. That's their benefit. They got that dude who can.
Well, Junior Paulo does it at Parramatta.
Yeah. Like there's a few out there that do it, you know.
Hold on, while we're on the subject of Brisbane and Payne Haas, though, before we move on to the next one, Payne Haas, are you guys both starting with him, being the gun front rower?
At the moment, I have him in my side.
You can afford him?
But yeah, the rest of my side shit, and I'm worried about maybe spending too much money up front.
Yep.
Just because last year it proved they're all pretty much a much except for Payne Haas.
Yep.
You know, he's a bit further in front than the rest.
But is he the
them.
Nath of the front row? Is he just that far ahead of anyone else in that position that you need him to be in the
I
game?
think something Con pointed out to me a couple of years ago, like, to get him in won't be as hard as to get in someone that can score 150s.
Yeah, your Nath,
You
your
know
high
what I
ceiling
mean? Like,
players.
so you could easily wait on a Payne Haas. Like, you're going to miss 30, 40 points maybe here and there, but you could probably make them up somewhere else with money more well spent, if you know what I mean.
What are your other, like, what's the price?
Last year he only averaged 68. Like, not only, that's pretty good. IPAP beat him, obviously, as the only one, but the other ones just behind him were Luke Thompson with 66.5, Pengai 65, and Fisher Harris 62. So he wasn't all that far in front like Nath compared to Cherry Evans and Hughes.
Yep.
So yeah, I think
It was the first year, though.
Yeah, the year before he was a fair bit in front, but yeah.
Playing 80 minutes nearly every game then, though, too.
I mean, different coaches now, though, but, I mean...
I think Uto Ekamanu from the Tigers is a little Payne Haas, another year older, another pre-season. I think he's better value at his price compared to getting Haas in.
Right, well, I got a question here from Matt Edmondson, right? It says, who would you prefer next to Haas in the front row? Stefano Uto Ekamanu, who's already currently on 25% ownership.
457,000.
Or would you prefer Bergs' old mate, Jai Arrow, starting on the edge over at the Bunnies?
Is he guaranteed to start?
Well, I don't know.
If he is starting on the edge, I like him.
Yeah.
Because he will play on the right, unfortunately. But only if he's playing 80. If he's not playing 80 on that edge, I don't like it.
Well, in saying that, everyone who's pretty much played that edge has played 80 the last couple of years. Like, they do nothing. They get your 40s. Like your Sewers and there was a dude before Jaden Sewer as well.
Can he come into the middle rotation? Can he come into lock from there for whatever reason?
Oh, absolutely, he could. if that's what they choose to do. But I can't see Jai Arrow playing 80 minutes.
No.
Not mixed in between the edge and the middle.
All right.
Did he used to do that at the Titans, or he's never played 80 minutes, has he? He's never really been an 80-minute man.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, the interesting thing with Souths and how they work this year is you've got the new coach factor.
Well, the
in
new
Jason Demetri.
coach has been under Wayne for
Long time.
well, yeah, as far back as I can remember. So I'd say they're going to be very similar.
But wasn't Bellamy under Wayne for a while? And
A little bit, not as long as Demetrio has been.
No? All right. Well,
Demetrio has been the heir apparent for the last 10 years or whatever.
all right.
Yeah, long time.
And then he got gifted Souths.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So, Udo Wikamano is your call on that for Maddie?
I like Uto, or I don't mind Luke Thompson.
Yeah, I've heard a few people talking about Luke Thompson.
In saying that,
That's an extra $130,000 or whatnot.
talking to Jay today, Jay Strasberg, and he pointed out that they don't have the greatest draw. That was a TPJ talk, actually.
But a hard draw, I think, suits forwards. Because it has to do more tackling, more grunt work and everything. It's not just end-to-end tries.
If it's one of them games where you're just getting fucking belted, there's no offload, there's nothing available, it takes away from their game.
I mean, you're right. That could be. And also, if they're just denied possession, they don't get a ball, so they don't get a chance. I mean, yeah, they make the defensive tackles, but they don't get a chance to make any hit-ups and any extra points out of that.
We don't even know where we're at yet.
That's it. That's the thing with the Bulldogs. And you guys do have a difficult draw to start. But what about the Tigers? What's their draw like? Yeah, you've looked it up, haven't you?
It's okay.
Be honest with the people.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you got no idea.
It's okay, from what I recall.
Yeah, they start off not too bad. They have three top 5 teams from last year in their first 12. They have a lot of games outside the 8, but they don't play the Panthers. They don't play the Rabbits. They play Manly and the Storm. But I like Uto in that draw because he's going to do the work no matter what.
Awesome.
I don't mind him myself, man.
Look, I was spewing I didn't have him last year, I'll admit.
Got some tries last year, but are they on offer again this year? Or?
Look, they very well may be. I mean, the whole thing with the Tigers is just you never know what's going to come out of them. It's been a change in squad. I mean, you don't expect greatness, but you never know because, I mean, they can pull it out. We've seen them do that. Can you get consistency? Tim Sheens has taken on a bigger role as of last year, so he's been building it now through the off-season and stuff like that. You know, there was all this talk of will Madge go, won't he go, and stuff like that after they did their doco. So I don't think Cameron's going in there again anytime soon. Good on you if they are. But I think it's sort of like the Bulldogs. They're a bit of a watch and act. But you just don't expect greatness. But yeah, I think forwards in the past have proven they're probably the ones that you would go for at those type of clubs.
It's a long road back for Tigers fans. Sorry.
We've all been there at one point, haven't we?
I'm still there with Newcastle.
There you go.
We're still travelling down that long road.
Bulldogs have been in a rebuilding phase for 15 years, so it happens. Okay, so... Oh, hold on. These are my sections. I've got to pull up my thing. Poison mids. So I was hitting up a couple of the boys from the 360 team, Brad Smith and Rowdy Rick Harrington, in a chat the other day, and they gave me a bit of a list of some poison mids that they would completely stay away from. I want your boys' thoughts on it. So first one, Maddie Moylan.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's he priced at?
There you go, Bergs.
Couldn't
Con's got
care.
the app. Yeah, there you go, right? I'm with you. I'm thinking, no way, too injury prone and hasn't excelled for a long time. I mean, if we start seeing some serious form, but I'm definitely not going to be an early adopter. Kieran Foran, I would say same thing, but he did show potential at Manly last year.
No, yeah, he was.
No.
There's too many attacking stats going away, Ches and Turbo. So, no for me for Foran.
Just Turbo.
Bailey Siren and Brad Smith says there's too much second row forward quality at the Warriors, so I just don't think he's going to get the minutes of the games.
Yeah,
Well, I
totally
think
agree.
Karen Aiken and Tohu, when he comes back, will be there.
They're all monsters. They're all proven. Jack Hetherington, bit too much rascal, hey?
Yeah, not for me. He'll be lucky to play 8 games all year.
You reckon? Just sin bins and send-offs, just be too
he-
aggro?
You know, you never know. He might curb his aggression. Hopefully he does.
And if
For
he
the-
can, he'll be a weapon
for
because
the-
the dude doesn't mind really getting into it.
for the
I don't want him to
sake
curb
of
it. I like what he does. Maybe rein it in a little bit, but not so much curb the aggression. Just channel it
Yeah, it's-
properly and direct it at the right
That's-
places,
that's
Yeah,
what I
through
mean,
your
like,
shoulder
you
into
know.
the dude that's giving you the shits.
and not into his head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
No
I
loose arms.
Love him as a player. Fuck, liability as a super coach.
Yeah, way too hectic for me as a super coach player.
Tom Dearden let down last year, let's be honest.
Where's he playing this year? Is he at the Cows?
I wouldn't even look in Tom Dearden directions.
Well, he
if
won't get a start.
13
over,
other halfbacks went down in the NRL.
All right, beautiful. The old skid mark, Charlie Staines.
No.
No matter what, starting winger still? You're still just not going near him with 10-foot pole?
I didn't touch him last year. I'm not disappointed
The
by it.
Ferrari boys. You know when you get hands. All right, fair enough. Corey Oates of Rocks and Diamonds, Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah,
lucky
he's
to
an
get it.
interesting one.
Yeah.
Be
Oh,
lucky.
here we go.
Be lucky to get a start with Sel and Cobbo.
But-
and
Probably. But if he does get a start, he reckons his attitude, he's been shit over the last 18 months or whatever.
he
Yeah.
reckons.
He reckons his own attitude, he's realised that within himself and he wants to train harder, work harder and try and get back to that.
Yep.
On the cusp of the international stage where he was there for a while. So
Okay, so maybe you'll start throwing some diamonds.
hopefully.
So train in the fucking house.
So
And with A-Ray, the wingers are going to see better ball at the Broncos automatically, I think. So I think that's a plus if he can get a start too.
He put it on a 20-cent piece.
All right, beautiful. So Corey Oates is the only one that you're like, well, watch and act at this point. Jared Croker?
Nope, he's
No.
done. He should just retire. Poor
Right.
kid.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, really. I think.
He won't even... Will he get the record?
But does it matter? 'Cause
Cam
if-
Smith's record?
Yeah.
No way.
is he dragging down the Raiders premiership?
Oh, I
hopes?
think so. Absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to say this now. It's Ricky's fault.
Because he's playing him.
Ricky keeps...
There might be, look, you guys know
That's-
Clubland's an interesting point. There might be powers that
And-
be above his head.
No, well, Ricky's a very, very loyal man.
That too.
Ricky's
So-
fault. He's got to learn to cut, man. And he doesn't do it. He sticks with him and he persists with his stupid
But yeah,
shit.
I think there he goes. You got Sebastian Krish, you got that Tomoko, you got Chance, who I think will play centre this year as well, who are all well ahead of Croker at this stage of his career, I think.
So yeah, who else you got?
Cody Ramsey
Nah.
Nah,
of the Dragons. No.
not for me.
All right.
If he gets the fullback spot, you might take a look at him,
over
depending on
Lomax?
his price.
Let's see if they wouldn't put Lomax into the fullback spot.
Better
No,
centre.
I think Tyrell Sloan will get it, but
I've heard that as well.
yeah, I think that'd be crazy to put Ramsey there personally.
Alrighty.
He's, wish version of Matt Duffy, really.
Sorry, Cody. Moses Zumbai?
No.
Nah.
Raymond Fatala Mariner.
If he gets a start, but I can't see him getting a start.
Yeah. Okay. Ethan
No, why
Bullock.
not?
Just can't see it. You got Pangai.
How do you see it lining up?
Oh, you have to think Josh Jackson locks it down. Especially with no
Yeah.
Adam Elliott no more.
Thompson Hetherington up front.
Yeah. Or
Or
Pangai.
Thompson Vaughan, sorry.
Yeah, and then you got Pangai on one edge.
No.
And there's someone I'm missing on the other edge.
Raymond's.
Yeah, it could,
That's Raymond's.
could,
Not Raymond.
yeah, there you go.
If it's not Raymond's, Hetherington
he's
might be in
still-
with a shout. I think he played a game or two there last year.
Well, I mean, a big part of that would be him being able to stay on the field and not get suspended and sin binned all the
Oh,
time.
absolutely.
So if that's the case, then Hetherington. So you're saying that Bulldogs right back row spot might be a look in for you because it could be a starter that we haven't seen there.
No,
before.
or whichever side Pengai plays, yeah, the other side.
Oh yeah, so yeah, opposite to Pungai, yeah. Alrighty. Who's that? Ethan Bullimore?
Yeah, no way. Not for me.
No.
Ben Murdoch-Masila.
Ben Murdoch-Masila?
Yeah.
No.
Gave
Carl
him a
Lawton.
sniff last year and
Who?
didn't
Carl
impress.
Lawton.
If he can snag 9 at Manly, I'd give him a crack.
I liked him better when he was playing second row last year, personally. When I think Schuster was out for all them weeks, but yeah, not for me.
He'd have to be a starting hooker for me. If he's not a starting hooker, he wouldn't get a spot in my side.
All right, yeah, but that's it. I mean, one injury to a Manly front rower, and I think he gets the call up. So if we're looking at a long-term injury to a front rower,
Front row, he'd be hooker or second row.
you reckon?
Yeah.
All right, but still, we're looking at an injury at Manly, and he may get that call up. So maybe one to look to watch.
Yeah, well, Bullimore's now at Manly as well, so he'd be looking for a front row, second row spot as well, I'd say.
Yeah, sorry, Bullimore was the one which I was talking about. My bad.
Yeah.
Aaron Woods?
No.
No. Big fat no. Kyle Flanagan?
No.
All right. Thank you, Rowdy and Brad, you legends. And the other thing I want to finally talk about then, boys, is goal kickers. So Glenn from the Supercoach Tragics podcast, they put out their first episode last week. If you haven't heard it yet, make sure you go find it. It's on Spotify. They put together a good show over there that to run a tight ship. Way tighter than ours. Put together this list of expected goal kickers for me. So I just want to talk about whether you guys would go for these players based on the fact that they kick goals. So we'll start at the top with the Dogs. So Avarillo or Burton. Who do you reckon's going to get it? I think Burton's got quite a boot on him.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily equate to accuracy.
Yeah, Avarillo's got the loyalty there.
I really don't know. I don't think either of them are much chop, but
I mean, are the Bulldogs going to score enough points for you to warrant having their goal kicker?
yeah, I think so. I think their goal kicker will be crucial because they don't score that many points, so they have to turn every 4 into 6 to be in with it.
I'm saying for Supercoach, though, are they going to actually get across the line enough times to make him a relevant goal kicker in your Supercoach side? Especially if it's, I mean, how many hooker goal kickers do you have?
I think this year, yeah. I think I can see him in big improvers.
Yeah. All right. For the Cows, Val Holmes when he comes back?
Oh, he's back.
Is he?
As far as I know, yeah. He's but he's playing left wing.
Yeah, if he's playing wing, no.
And yeah, he's playing left wing, and there was a picture of him and that Lukey.
He was a standout winger last year.
He's always been a standout winger.
But
He's
I
a
mean,
great
like
finisher,
he scored a fair few Supercoach points for the people that did have him.
I think mainly playing fullback, that was.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So on the wing, maybe not. Broncos, A-Ray kicking the goals there. Is he a half that you're considering? No?
Never been Supercoach relevant, even with the goal kicking.
Alrighty. For the Tigers, Jackson Hastings.
I'm got Jackson penciled in at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. I hear he might be a bit of a smoky, sort of floating around in some circles at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping he's fine-tuned his craft over in England. Yeah, I think he either won the Man of Steel or come very close one year. I think he just missed out.
What position is he fighting for? Hooker?
No, he'll be playing in the halves, I'd say.
So he's in for 5/8 until Dewey's back?
I think Dewey might have to play with
Might have to
centre,
fight.
or Brooksy might be looking over his shoulder.
All right, cool. Dragons, Zach Lomax. He was a bit of a standout last year and the year before. He was a smoky that, was a bit of a game changer for the people that had him. Has he topped out Supercoach-wise?
No, injury affected year last year at 496,000.
What positions is he available in? Is he just?
He's just centre.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
That's all right. Maybe not a bad smoky centre to have, especially with the goal kicking. Are the Dragons going to get the tries this year?
No,
You know what? They looked better with them in the halves last year when they were finishing the year.
And this new Sloan kid at fullback?
yeah, I can't see him scoring huge points week in, week out.
No?
They'll
No.
have games, but
All right, so don't take your chances. Croker for the Raiders. We've already covered him. Roosters, Momirovski. Oh, schmucky.
Yeah, we talked about him too. Like I said, I don't mind him.
Yeah. And Bergs, you're pretty much firmly against, unless he gets the spot. What if he gets the starting spot? Are you on or what?
no.
Nah, just straight up nah. Because the Roosters definitely a ceiling club, man. They can pump out a lot of points.
You know what? Joey Manu's took his game to the next level. Suwali's coming and he's bigger and looks a bit fitter, and
I've heard he might be playing winger though.
doesn't matter. There's still blokes there running and feeding. You know what I mean? If he was the key back, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's not the key back.
All right, fair enough.
I think anyone in that Roosters back line this
Nah.
year is viable.
Okay. Maddie Cavallo, who was playing on the wing last year. I mean, look, if Swali's coming through, I think he's going to be a bit of a must-have.
Only because of his price.
Well, and being on the end of a Roosters
Yeah, if he
back line.
plays wing.
That's it. If he plays wing and he's on the end of a Roosters back line, then yeah, I'm all over it. For the Sharks, Nico Hines.
I'm wary of Nico.
Yeah, peaked last year playing fullback for the Storm.
Scored good points playing halves, but for Storm. But Cronulla's no Storm,
That's right.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Finucane. They're like Storm off Wish now.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be looking at Nico Hines personally.
Would you say he's a trap? Because I hear the name get thrown about a bit. I mean, I don't hear it get thrown around in serious contention for the halves, but is he maybe due to be on that poison mids list? Was he on that poison mids list?
No, I think he's a bit overpriced for the mids. Yeah, at his price and coming from the Storm to the Sharks, I want to have a really good look at him before I even think about touching him.
Alrighty. Titans. Toby Sexton.
No.
Not for me.
No. They're not going to score enough goals. I mean, I've heard him being thrown around as, well, if he gets the starting half spot, running off David Fafita, anything could happen. You guys, I think, were saying that last week.
Yeah. But,
Oh, you've changed your opinion?
no,
He's just not for
Berg's
me.
mainly, I was saying something with David. I think,
AJ, you said it because AJ's more of a bloke who's
yeah.
backing up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? AJ's there. If the ball's presented, AJ will score a try.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, not for me, Toby.
All right, cool. For Knights, is it going to be KP or is it going to be Jake Clifford that's kicking the goals?
Will be KP if he's fit.
It'll be KP, so KP.
Oh, well, you all know my opinion on KP.
Yeah,
He's my
exactly.
boy, I love
Fanboy
him.
over here. Yeah, so I knew you were going to say that. But for the listeners, can you maybe just steer them honestly in terms of Supercoach? Would you consider him on the goals?
I'd rather
Like at fullback?
he wouldn't. It's so hard because
You want to say that they're going to score heaps of tries,
on
but
his
you don't
day.
genuinely
Well,
believe
on
in
his
Yarder
day,
halves.
he can just set up 3 or score a couple himself and crack you that 100. But
Yeah.
he's just so inconsistent.
Yeah,
The
and if
days-
he
the
needs to
days-
score all 3 of them himself, his legs are probably not going to be picking you up the goal kicking points
The
anyway.
days are few and far between.
All right,
Yeah.
so Eels, Mitch Moses, bit of a smoky halfback.
I currently have him in my side. I hate to say it.
Now.
Oh, I fucking hate to say it now. I've never really had Mitch Moses prior years. I've had him like once in years gone by, but at this moment, Mitch Moses is in my side. Just due to Parra's draw, it's
It's
an
juicy.
easier draw, and I just think he's at unders from where he can be. Now, there's also the chance that he regresses.
I was about to say,
You
yeah,
know?
well, okay. So the fact that you say that in the same breath is probably the most concerning part, because I think we're all aware
Well, he
that
does
Parramatta
that to
has the
you.
potential to do a lot, but doesn't often achieve.
He'll come out and score back-to-back 120s, and then come out and put back-to-back 30s on the table.
All right, so then
Yeah, that's
maybe
the
if
thing
you're
with-
considering Mitch Moses, go back, figure out where he historically scores well, and look at playing him maybe on those matchups if you're looking to trade through a
It's
stepping stone.
It's
Or
just a lot of money, but
does he come in a serious like for the listener?
Like I said,
Does,
he's
does
in
it
my
come
si-
in a serious contention for your halves?
He's in my side at the moment. Like I said, he wouldn't be in my side if I wasn't seriously thinking about having it.
All right. Well,
He's
we've
a goal
got
kicker.
we've got
Their
one more.
draws pretty easily. He's desperate for some points, and I think him and Maddo are going back to their natural side, have they not?
I think they did towards the end of last
So,
year.
yeah, I think that didn't work last year for him. So him and Madison are back on their right hand side, which is better for them. So
Okay. Cool.
And Para are renowned for getting down the blocks quick.
Now for the Bunnies, he's hearing that maybe Lachlan Ilias, if he picks up the spot, is going to get the goal kicking. But Con, you think differently.
No, he might kick for the first week or first 2 weeks, but once Trell's back, I can see him walk up start kicker.
All right. So then Trell. Do you
Oh, you-
seriously contemplate Trell? Because
Absolutely.
the Souths can definitely put on massive amounts of points and take a lot of shots at goal. With A-Ray now gone and Trell getting the kicking back, is Trell maybe a smoky halfback,
Well, that's-
smoky fullback option now?
Absolutely, I think. Well, in the games last year where they put racked up scores and stuff and Trell scored massive already, that was without the goal kicking. So
Yeah.
I can't see him
Dropping.
doing what Tommy did last year, but I definitely see an extra 15 points in him.
Yeah. That's
He's-
it. Maybe even more. I mean, they routinely put up scores over 50 last year, which is a lot of tries. It's a lot of kicks at goal.
well, just being that now they don't have an A-ray there, they don't have to feed that side as much. It's just going to be that left-hand thing that they constantly do and pull the winger in. Bang, AJ down the side. Like, they've got that with Trell will be there.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Like, I worry about their 7 not getting any ball at all, to be honest.
All right, cool.
No, he's just going to be a distributor for a long while. He's just going to go straighten up the line, hopefully draw in that one of those edge defenders and give Cody that space. That's his job. He doesn't have to do anything else.
So the cheapy half is probably one to stay away from, sort of like Kyle Flanagan when he started with the Roosters.
Oh, I think he'll be a slow burn.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Now, just quickly, can I take us off topic? I do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least we got to the end of the topic, so yeah.
Now, Warren McGoldrick, he's a massive part of the Supercoach live chat. It's a big page on Facebook. Check it out, guys.
Hold on, Supercoach live chat. That's the guys that will literally score it and tell you exactly what score is being given for what, live, game by game, for I think pretty much every game throughout the Supercoach season, yeah? That Warren McGoldrick?
Don't know. Think so. Hope it didn't offend.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Woz has just said, can we have a Teddy and a Turbo debate?
Pardon? Okay, we'll get to that in 2 seconds because we just got to do to Nath or nah. So...
Well, I said nah. But you said Nath. What are you doing?
Pardon? Well, I mean, look, I think if he's starting round 1...
He's not starting round 1, bro.
Then...
Starting 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's at the moment. He's young. He can heal quickly. I know they're not going to risk
It's
him,
4 weeks away.
but...
So they still should know if he's 3 or 4 weeks away.
I was about to say, the fact that they're calling it this far out...
Well, who called this?
Wilfred. I think. Don't know.
Where did you get the information
Yeah, that's
from?
it.
mate?
Has it been verified?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So much confidence.
What?
How do you have this ability to go both ways? You know what I mean?
Or fully commit and then just at the end, maybe.
That's it. In every sentence you say, you're just like, it's definitely this or not.
Could be.
Oh, the beauty of Bergs.
So what are you gonna? You'll know fine if he's in round 2.
For me, like I'm getting Nath. I'll probably even go to round 3 because I think a trade's worth $300,000 to me at the start of the year.
For me, no. Nah, I think if you're seriously in contention, like if you're seriously a contender that wants to go for overall, you'll just have to maybe take the hit of Nath because you get the 2 free looks anyway. You know what I mean? So you can already have cash generating towards Nath.
Hopefully.
And banking points rather than not banking points.
Look, you make a good point. If he comes back round 3 or 4, then yeah.
Well, I found an article from 3 days ago. Nathan Cleary has said he's desperate to get back. Previously tipped to miss the first fortnight of Penrith Premiership defence, but after holding up at training, this return date could well be brought forward.
Okay, so yeah, for me, I reckon I'm going to Nath.
I reckon it's still 3 or 4 weeks after.
All right. Well, look, mate, you take the gamble. For me, I don't think I'm going to be able to find the money without sacrificing 2 trades to do it.
Well, how can you afford to get an eighth? How can you afford to get an eighth? You're running.
I'm not getting it.
At the moment.
Okay. So yes, are you going to talk about your other halves? Because
well, I just thought if you're gonna
ask that question at the end.
Okay, Nath's there. We all know Nath is the go-to. You need to have Nath.
Hypothetically,
right?
you're not starting with Nath because he's not starting. Who you
but
going?
if you're gonna look at halves to keep you in the hunt, and maybe this is where your secondary one will come into play a lot more. I think DCE and Hughes are pretty much on par with their average and their money. Like, they're not going to go up too much. If anything, they might come down a little depending on their draws. But I think they're at price to what they're at. You know what I mean? So they'll easily come in with whatever their average is of 70 or 60, high 60s. I think it's in mid-70s, though. So their average is priced at that. Whereas you got blokes that are a bit underpriced, if you know what I mean. Like, a bit undervalued. Like,
Who you got?
Mitch Moses played out of position last year on the left, back on the right-hand side with Maddo. Should find his points and back up. I think he was a bit dearer to start the year previous. So that means he has taken a hit somewhere, you know what I mean? And that hopefully comes back to his game. If you can mix a Mitch Moses and if Toby Sexton does well over the first 4 or 5 weeks, You're nearly at Nath.
2 segments ago, you told me Toby Sexton was a no-go.
I just used it because he's written here.
Pardon? Yeah,
I'm
I
just
know.
saying,
But
like,
would you realistically go for someone at the price point of Toby Sexton, or who else are you going for?
If I was going to pair him up, I'd probably pair him up with the Souths bloke, whoever got the 7 at Souths.
The slow burn 7 that's going to do nothing but distribute.
My worry with that is if you jump on Ilias.
Yeah.
And that TAFE. Apple.
Anyway.
If he does play fullback and he's played in the grand final as well now, if he plays well, there's half a chance he just slots in at 7. And you've wasted that Ilias trade. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
So that's something you got to watch out for too. Or one of them just goes and plays 14 and it just ruins you. So you got to pick the right one there, I think. But if you pick the right 2, you can be at Nath in 4 weeks with points.
All right. Who else you got on there?
That's a lot that has to go your way.
That's what Supercoach is about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to pick your luck, and let's face it, there's guys that do it.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of us picking the right guys.
Absolutely, but that's the chance of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So astronomical.
Who else have you got? What are your other options?
With Moses, I've got A-Ray in that tier just because he's up at Brisbane with a young side.
Do you think you can get try assists and line break assists and get enough to actually translate into Supercoach now?
I like their backs, and he'll be goal kicking. So that automatically they'll score some tries this year.
Could he become a smoky half this year in Supercoach, you reckon?
I don't see him being a Nath, but I can see him being just below a DCE.
All right.
If you catch me drift. Even maybe spoke about in that tier. SJ's another one. What do you think of A-Ray?
I love it. You move on to the next dude and then ask him about the previous.
I've
media
said
professional.
A-Ray's never for me.
Never for you.
But SJ, and I know you're an SJ fanboy, you love a bit of SJ in your life. He's the dual position half as well, so he's got that benefit. You can run him and Cleary. Is he someone you're looking at?
As much as it pains me to say, no. SJ will not be making an appearance in my Supercoach team this year just because he's lost that yard of pace or a couple of yards of pace, and those half line breaks that used to be tries are now half line breaks that don't result in much.
He's got those big boppers and stuff around him, and he's got a bit of young talent around him, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, I don't...
Who's partnering SJ over there?
I'd
say it'd be
question.
Chanel Harris-Tavita.
You reckon?
I think.
Bergs wrote a Hookers article talking about CHT going at 9. Is Bergs just lying?
No. I'd like to see CHT.
You did say that it's a big hope.
For me.
Yeah,
that would be perfect for me.
Okay.
CHT would play 9, $1 million Ash played 6. CHT played 9 a couple of times last year and did well. Tackles well.
I got to edit your stuff. Con, is CHT going to play number 9 in New Zealand?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. Cool. So,
he could very well could, but I think Egan will play 9.
Man, have you had to cough for about an hour and a half, Con? Just give us a little one. Believe me, you do. Thank you. Okay. So, what was that question you had to ask about Nathan? Told you to ask at the end?
No, Teddy versus Turbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the final question.
Nath or no?
Oh, that's final.
Yeah, that's it. Do you go Nath or Turbo? But, yeah. Okay. Teddy or Turbo? The fans have asked live on Facebook, so we give the people what they want. Who's the affirmative? Who's the negative? So, let's start with...
I'll be pro Teddy.
You're pro Teddy, so you're pro Tommy Bergs. Duke it out. You go first.
It's Tommy. He's not $1.3 million for nothing. Don't get me wrong, I see the value in a Teddy, but you got to remember last year Teddy was doing it all by himself, so it was all Teddy. Whereas this year it could get shared around a little bit more.
But also the focus from the defence is going to be not just zoned in on Teddy. They're going to have to be watching Cleary. They're going to have to be watching Young Swali. They're going to have to be watching Momorowski. There's a lot more threats now as well, which could help Teddy.
Yeah, I know, but Tommy's just Tommy. Like, he's so good. Like, you know what? Imagine the team gets better around Tommy. Like what Teddy's got. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know Manly's a long way from the Roosters, but if that team can get a bit better, man, then Tommy's in with a shout. Like, you got to be real. Like, I'm scared of not owning Tommy myself. I don't want to not own him, but in realistic terms, I can't have him. He's way too much, and I can have other people, but yeah, I know I'm very Tommy. Go Tommy. Look, but you know what? If you can find someone cheap enough to plant in with Tommy and still do a 60 job, Tommy will probably outscore them other two on his certain games.
What up to Paps and Teddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big call. Oh,
He was averaging what at the end there, 150 odd.
yeah, we averaged
Right.
143 for the year.
That's massive, mate.
It is.
Massive. And there was how many 200 games in there? 2 or 3?
Three,
3 200 games.
4, 5. Oh,
300.
300,
3 200 games. Plus the fucking records. Like he's got it, man. Like, and what's their draw? They've only got the 2 tough games to start with, and then it's sky's the limit for them. I think they take on the Roosters and then Rabbits, and then it's just away. Like
Yeah, they do.
George, Penrith's, Nath hopefully's underdone.
After the first 2, it does open very widely for the Seagulls. But I just think Teddy will improve on his average from last year. He's been in that full-strength Roosters team. And I think Tommy will come back to the field a little bit. So the extra money you save going Teddy, I think, will more than even itself out in the long run.
Yeah. Jazzy, what do you think, Tommy or Teddy?
Oh, man. It's tough. If you look at it just on position, you'd say Tommy. But if you look at it as part of the fact that Teddy's part of the ceiling club and the fact that he's probably underdone because of what happened last season with so many injuries, I think Teddy, from the value perspective to start the season, you've got to. I think it's crazy if you don't, because we know he can hit 1.2, 1.3. He could get up to Tommy. He really could, especially on the back of a solid Roosters attack. The other thing that could go the other way though is, is Teddy used a bit more as decoy, and he's not actually going to pick it up. But I don't think so. He's a mad finisher, no. And he's captain in the side. Like, you'd have to think that he's going to go crazy over there this year. He's had a brilliant last 3 years.
Longer.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it, because you guys were talking about him when you got me into it, and I've been into it for 3 years. And I mean, first year I didn't know what you guys were talking about, and then I sort of saw.
Slow start. Well,
yeah,
it wasn't slow. He's still scoring 60s and shit.
Yeah, but that's it. It's only 60s in a ceiling position. What are you talking about?
It weren't as high as it was last year either.
That's it.
But 60s wasn't far off 90.
When Teddy was allowed to just play his game last year, he was doing well. He was looking nice at the start of the season. But then, I mean, losing Cleary was a massive thing. The combination between him and Cleary is huge. Having that back, like, Cleary's just got this amazing deep ball that he just throws like pretty much 90 degrees backwards, about 15, 20 metres, just with cutout accuracy and speed. And Teddy's just there. And then he can just, all of a sudden, Teddy's got 20 metres to play with. He can just pick a hole and get through it. It's amazing to watch. So, yeah, I'm thinking Teddy, man. Value, and he's got the ceiling to achieve. I think Turbo, if he can maintain that average, 1, good on him, but 2, I don't think he can maintain it for long. I think eventually he's bound to lose cash. If you play that game, if you take the risk, and he pulls out at 150 in the first 2 rounds, good on you. Like, 100% good on you. But all you're going to do is pretty much stay stable. You're not going to gain any value out of Turbo.
I think points to dollars ratio, Teddy comes out on top for me.
Yeah, for sure. So there you go, buddy. Teddy versus Turbo debate. It wasn't as exciting as we thought it would be, but, I mean, it was good.
Okay, I just want to throw some quick numbers at you for groups, group codes. There's our group code, which is 790873. That is to get part of the Supercoach 360 overall group code. It's not a league, just so that's out there. You only get 10 groups, so pick them wisely. Then there's the Podmasters group. Now, that's up against virtually every podcast in the business. So anyone you virtually listen to should be in and around that group. That code is 401279. And then you got the SC Hub, Supercoach Hub boys. I think it's just right in SC Hub if they ask. But it's 630 934. That's the group code for there, and that's full of some really good super coaches. So that'll really put you up to show you where you're at if you join the hub one. So
that's it. Get on the Discord, especially with the Supercoach Hub boys. They're off the charts. Make sure you join Supercoach Live group on Facebook if you want to stay really up to date. And they're a bunch of good blokes that definitely know Supercoach inside and out. So if you want to get into the Cashies, make sure you hit up NRL SC Tragics Cashies on Facebook. Broderick runs a tight ship. Also, check out the Podmasters Cup. That's going to be absolutely insane this year. Kane and Adrianosaurus Rex, who both have pods of their own. Bergs?
Ado does. Kando just pretty much runs the...
Oh, he runs the Podmasters.
Yeah, he was a massive part of getting us in.
It's Supercoach by Adrianosaurus is Ado's podcast.
Yeah.
Get your head around that. He's a great bloke as well.
Yeah, good podcast too. Plus, I think Gleno and that put one out, didn't they?
Yes, the Supercoach Tragics put out their first podcast. You can find it on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts.
Find our boy Timmy O on there.
Now, if you are catching us on Facebook Live, or if you usually listen on Apple Podcasts and you can't find it, yes, I'm aware of the issue. I'm trying to fix it. We've changed providers over in the off season, and there's just an issue with our feed going to Apple. I'm working to rectify it, so you can still find it on Spotify and everywhere else you find your podcasts, but for some reason, Apple is making things difficult. It's why I use Android. I think we still got a couple of questions. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, just while you're doing the questions, then I'll do the shout-outs. Have you got the questions handy? Or?
Yeah, I've got them up here. So Brad Huxley, who's been very active in the group chat tonight. Good on you, Brad.
Brad.
Say g'day. He put a question in. He says, with Adam Elliott, who he's called the Sheriff, now living in Canberra, should he be worried about his girlfriend? The bloke has the biggest piece in the NRL. What's the thoughts on banning her from going to GIO Stadium?
Yep.
I don't think you got much to worry about now. Millie Boyle will bash that fucker, eh? Oh, sorry.
I don't think they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, full Instagram.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that they
fucking-
became official in the off season. That's right. Adam Elliott was the one caught with her in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do believe they're actually together now.
Yeah, they are.
And yeah, that's the
She'll beat him up.
NRLW player.
Oh,
Yeah. She's a menace. I wouldn't want to be on her wrong side. That's for sure. Shout out to Millie. Stephen Richards. First time, long time.
Richo, get on Joey Manu, brother.
That's it. So his question is, okay, so you guys have been going, 4 full years now? And
Shit.
do you have to say that into the microphone?
Doesn't say anything else into the microphone, so you
Yeah.
might as well get something in there.
That's all right.
Fuck that.
Anyway, so you guys have been going for 4 full years now and still have to put up with Con and his bad advice. When are you going to boot that bum and get someone with more Supercoach sense, like maybe that brick out the front of Bergs' house?
It's coming, Richo. Don't worry, mate. You'll get your wish soon.
We contemplated it over the off-season, but it turns out Bergs' house needs all the bricks. It's crazy.
Don't use them codes.
Why?
Because I've fucked up. They're wrong codes.
They're private codes, aren't they?
No, they're the wrong codes, yeah. And they're private codes. But, yeah, one of... Well,
Oh, have you just made editing work for me? Great. It's been an awesome show. Thanks, guys. I think we're going to have to get out of here.
There are no more questions on there?
Pardon? No, I don't think so, actually. Oh, Bergs.
Why do people give me these things?
Pardon? Yeah, you're a terrible person. You're right. I'll go back and put a beep over the codes. Oh, you make my life annoying. Anyway, that is pretty much us for the week. Look, Bergs has already given up.
Peace.
Thank you very much for listening. He's hoping you got everything you need to know about Supercoach from this week's episode. If not, make sure you tune in the Tragics podcast. Let's check out the Podmasters League. Supercoach by Adrianosaurus. Otherwise, we will see you next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. on Facebook Live. Thank you very much for listening. Stay coachy, coaches.
See you, peeps.